What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay Wilder, Malik Scott. Get this. Deontay Wilder's trainer, Malik Scott, wants Anthony Joshua or Oleksandr Usyk after the Helenius fight. Trainer Malik Scott wants Anthony Joshua for Wilder next, provided the Bronze Bomber successfully defeats Robert Helenius on October 15th. Scott feels that the fight between Wilder and Joshua would be huge, and he's interested in making the matchup if the terms are right. Other than Joshua, Malik Scott would want him to take on Oleksandr Usyk. Putting a fight together between Wilder and Usyk may prove to be difficult, as the Ukrainian fighter says he only wants Tyson Fury. It's possible that Usyk may retire after fighting Fury, as he'd already taken on two of the best heavyweights in the world. The only reason for Usyk to stay on would be for money in fights against Wilder and guys like Andy Ruiz. He said, besides AJ, that's the only qualified fight that I'm looking for Deontay, said Malik Scott. About wanting Oleksandr Usyk or Joshua next, I'm not interested in Deontay Wilder fighting Sanchez. I'm not interested in those kinds of fights for Deontay. Deontay and AJ is a fight I'm very much interested in, and the conditions have to be right because we're dealing with someone that doesn't have to do this for a financial state. If Deontay does do it, the conditions have to be right. The finance, because he's people-driven, not money-driven. This fight here is such a serious fight, the Helenius fight, especially for our first fight back. Helenius is a major threat. Let me counterpunch. Joshua Wilder would probably be the best fight that they probably could make because it's been revisited. Eddie Hearn has since, probably as of 2020, said that, he would give Wilder 50-50. That's before Wilder was defeated by Tyson Fury for the first time, mind you. So it had to be January or early February. It would have to be, the terms would have to be right, but I think that's the fight that makes the most sense. Why? Because Usyk is busy with Fury. Fury's supposed to be busy with Usyk. And both of those fighters have other fights planned. So Joshua, if he fights Otto Wallin, and Wilder, if he fights Helenius, they need to do that, then get themselves prepared for each other. But taking on Usyk, I think is a high order because, for one, Usyk doesn't have to fight for financial gain. In fact, none of them do. That goes for Wilder, Joshua, Usyk, Fury. None of these guys have to fight for money anymore. It has to be for pride, purpose, or legacy. Okay, that's the only way that I see why these guys would want to fight. Okay, so Usyk would be the less likely to happen because Usyk, is the winner. Tyson is the winner of their last two fights, or their last two fights. They're the winner, and they have defended their championship crown. So those are two kings that needs to get down. Bars. So I think at the end of the day, people, the best fight for Deontay Wilder would be Anthony Joshua. But as you guys also know, that I just did a video about Wilder still complaining about Eddie Hearn and the shenanigans that happened a couple years ago. My counterpunch to that, you're going to have to get over that shit. Because as long as you stir up old shit, I think we're going to have these type of problems, because it's going to be a bad taste in my mouth, a bad this, and he played with me. Look, I don't like, that's for kids. This is business. If he knows it's a business, as he admitted, hey, boxing is a business in this gladiator sport, he has to also know, like, look, business, you can't have and bring your emotions to this table. So if he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, he has to put all that shit aside, because I don't see Hearn over there belly aching over shit that used to be. I don't see him still doing that. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder has to bring or get out of his own way if he wants to fight with Anthony Joshua. But that's if he really wants to fight with Anthony Joshua. See, I'm going to charge you up. See, I'm not convinced that they wanted that fight for Wilder. That's why, or if they wanted it for at a price that was too good to be true. So if he did lose to Joshua, they would get their just due, and everybody would get a cut of that pie. Okay? Now, I don't know if Wilder was particularly scared of Joshua. I don't really think he was, but I do think he was arrogant and was full of shit because he listened to people that gave him bad advice. And he couldn't see, like, look, these deals are really good and I haven't made this type of money. But then yet you get mad at Tyson Fury and then tell on yourself and say, I was offered more money to fight Joshua. But I thought Joshua ducked you. See, those things got to be eradicated. They have to be stopped. Wipe them off the board. The chalkboard has to be swiped clean. Throw hot water on it and take all the chalk off. Let it dry, and then let's get a new negotiation up between those two guys, because that's the only fight that I see, and it's the only fight that really makes sense. And you know what? And I would want that to be in Madison Square Garden. I don't even want that in the UK anymore, because Joshua owes us a fight over here in the US of A. He said he would come back. So if he beats Otto Vailina or whoever the hell he decides to fight in December, he needs to come back over here to fight Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Malik Scott wanting the Joshua or Usyk fight for Deontay Wilder. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!